In Australia, we've all experienced a welcome to country or acknowledgement of country, possibly multiple times per week. They're two different things, but essentially two sides of the same coin. To be clear, I'm not against welcome to country out of hand. In certain circumstances, I think it makes sense to have one. For example, citizenship ceremonies. New people are joining our ranks, it makes sense to welcome them. Or if a friendly foreign military force, such as the US Marine Corps, come to Australia, sure, welcome them. International sporting events with large international crowds, yeah, it makes sense to welcome the international fans and the players. I don't see an issue with that, and I think the international fans probably enjoy it. But I think what Australians are starting to take issue with, especially after the long drawn-out voice referendum campaign, is being welcomed to their own country. When people welcome us to their land, it makes it sound like it's not our land. It's very divisive, is it not? Look, I'm not against individual dancers. For many of them, this is probably a job. Good on them, they've found their place in the world. But it's the political messaging that starts to grate on people. For example, there are some activists who claim that we stole their land. The thing is, we didn't steal their land. I didn't steal anything. I was born here. Here's one with red paint running down her arm and a t-shirt that states, "Another day in the colony." This activist is actually a sitting Australian politician, Senator Lydia Thorpe. She doesn't just want to perform ceremonies, she wants all the land back by infiltrating Parliament. Her words, not mine. Here's Katrina Power, an Aboriginal Elder from the Adelaide region in South Australia. A couple of weeks ago, she gave a welcome to country at the Adelaide Convention Centre, which went somewhat off the rails. According to witnesses, she said things such as, "I deserve a better applause. This event is being held on stolen land. 7 in 10 of you didn't want me to have a voice," referring to the voice referendum defeat. "I can understand what it is like for Palestinians in the Gaza Strip." And "King Charles should be dethroned." That was a nice welcome to country, wasn't it? I feel rather welcome now, don't you? In 2018, she called the then Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull Malcolm Cow shit at an International Women's Day address. Perhaps Malcolm Turncoat would have been more fitting. In 2017, during her welcome to country at an Anzac Day Dawn Service, she made reference to slavery and invasion. Just as a quick note, the modern welcome to country is accredited to actor Ernie Dingo and musician Richard Walley. In 1976, they were members of an Aboriginal theatre troupe and were asked by a group of Polynesian performers to give them a welcome to country, as their spiritual beliefs dictated. So they did. Since then, Dingo has stated, "Before that occasion, we couldn't do it to white people because they wouldn't understand and there was too much negativity." Never fear, the ceremony has since become a very positive experience, hasn't it? Another thing that perhaps some Australians are also getting a bit tired of are acknowledgement of countries. Just so that we're all on the same page, a welcome to country can only be performed by a traditional Indigenous owner of the land, while an acknowledgement of country can be delivered by anybody else, and is very frequently. This is probably what is driving so many Australians crazy of late. For example, every Australian website now has an acknowledgement of country. This is Coles Supermarkets, for example. Coles Group acknowledges the traditional custodians of country throughout Australia. Blah, blah, blah. Universities are handing out acknowledgement of country palm cards. Sorry, I don't mean to be so dismissive, but I've seen or heard these things at least 1,000 times before. That's the issue with these acknowledgements. They've been overused and now almost have no meaning, with most people ignoring them. Whenever I attend a Zoom meeting for work, they inevitably start the meeting by saying, "Our meeting is being held on the lands of the so-and-so people, and I wish to acknowledge them as traditional owners." Because we're online, we're not even in the same state half the time. We're using a satellite connection going to outer space. American comedian Bill Maher had something to say about all of this from a North American perspective.
To all the people who start every public event now with one of those land acknowledgements, where they say, "I'm standing on land that was stolen from the proud Indigenous people of the Chumash tribe," I say either give it back or shut up.
I was at a tree planting ceremony recently commemorating a person who had died in a local community group. It was on council land, and the council lady who was running the show, of course, began by saying, "I begin today by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we gather today, blah, blah, blah." And then I thought, If you truly acknowledge that this is not your land, why the hell do you think you can just plant a tree in it? How do you justify council owning it? Did you seek permission from anybody? Did you ask the local elder if you could use their land? No, of course not. So why do you keep acknowledging that it's not your land? It's like you're rubbing it in their faces. These people need to do one of two things, in the words of Bill Maher: either give the land back or shut the f*** up.